Hello, 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 and welcome back to some programming. Everyone's had a good day so far. Hope everyone's having a good one. Yeah. I'm going to openly admit that today I'm going to be, a touch distracted. So I apologize in advance if that ends up affecting the stream negatively. I made a brief tweet about this yesterday. I've been talking with a friend about some stuff at the moment. I've also talked with a few other people. Point is, yeah. I apologize in advance if the experience is worsened or if I don't get much work done today. Okay, so let's go through some of the stuff that I want to do though. So it'll be in here. A suggestion from yesterday I thought was really cool, and I kind of want to add something for it. So we'll do that. There's EX count. I might as well make an assist one. So this means we could, per se, give the player charges. Now, how I might do that, I'm not so sure yet on like when those would occur. Outside of a modifier, but it does mean that if we have an alt that we're like want to give you multiple charges of, or if we give you an item or a passive that gives you, or an ability yada 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 that gives you access to additional ones, that might be an interesting approach. So hello. There we go. So how do I want to handle it? What's the game you're making? It is a Vampire Survivors style genre game. Focusing on the general wide audience of VTubers and the wider community. I can show very briefly a little bit of gameplay while I'm trying to think about how I want to approach this next step of it. But I've been working on it since about February last year, and been more or less a solo development project. So we have multiple characters in the game. We have a bunch of systems in place as well. And, yeah. Can't make games with the computer I have. You'd be surprised at what you'd be able to accomplish depending on what you have. I mean, my short answer always to that is, don't over scope. It's a very big issue. But, like, realistically speaking, this game runs off of... This game could probably run off of a laptop from 2007. And the development is not much more intense than that. But yeah, we have all sorts of systems. We have EX, for example, which is kind of cool. Just like their extreme power thing. But no, like, nothing should scare you away from working on the game. And again, unless you're trying to go like, oh, well, I want to make the next Call of Duty, then yeah, you're probably gonna suffer quite a bit. Because you need something like UE for that, and my computer doesn't run UE very well. But like, genuinely, my suggestions to Godot or GameMaker if you want to make games, depending on quite what you want. Obviously, at the end of the day, each engine has its advantages and disadvantages for each field. GameMaker is definitely more orientated towards your like 2D-esque games, but it's also really, really good for solo development. Holds your hand a lot. You can even use visual to make it faster and easier. I would save up a lot longer if I wanted one for something like fancy games, and probably try to get a team for it. Yeah, but it's also, I will say, if you want to do game dev, just make some stuff now. Make some like crappy games on some crappy engines. You have no idea how much you'll learn from that, and you'll be able to like experiment. Don't go in trying to make your first game the perfect game you want to make. That's a big mistake that a lot of people have. Fun fact, did you know that the developer for... So there was a developer. What engine are you using? I'm using GameMaker. GameMaker Studio 2. It's a very lightweight overall engine, and it's very attuned to 2D. It's very good for 2D platforming, all sorts. Games like Forager were made in it. Risk of Rain original, and the remake that they did. Not Risk of Rain 2 though, mind you. But yeah, a lot of games like that. I think Celeste was also potentially made in it, I'm not sure. But no, so there was one game developer that's a very famous story about how he just made like several games a year, and he made this one shitty app game called Hotel Fart Simulator. Right? It's not exactly the most incredible. And when he released this, it was a mobile game, I believe. Someone reviewed it and said the characters look like all the characters in it look really animatronic and like really or like don't look right. So this developer decided to make his next game about animatronics, and it's called Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sure you probably know the rest of the story about that franchise from this point onwards. That was what that developer... I'm not even kidding. That is actually the story of that developer. Make shitty games. You have no idea how much you'll learn from it. I was thinking, yeah, it is FNAF's storyline. That is the developer for FNAF originally made shitty Flash games and shit like that. On top of that, like one of the most probably well-acclaimed indie games out there, which is Undertale, is written in a way that any like sane programmer would be insane, because it's all like shitty switch statements and stuff like that. Doesn't matter at the end of the day. Game works. Don't think you have to be an amazing programmer or an amazing this or that to accomplish your games. I mean, again, I have made this easily 95% of this game is me. That includes assets, that includes all that, right? I would still need to learn how to code. Exactly, and that's why I'm suggesting like GameMaker is a good one, or Godot, because there's a lot of resources out there. We're in an era where learning how to be a game dev is so easy comparative to it in the past. Like, the amount of YouTube tutorials and everything like that out there, so insane. And like that's why I like GameMaker. GameMaker has some incredible built into the stuff. If I actually just launch GameMaker again, so I'll open up a separate client of it quickly. Here we go. So this is the starting page. I'm not going to do that for the moment. And we're going to look on the right side here. See this? This is all built-in tutorialization that they have. There is this where you can make basically full RPG stuff. And you can do this all in a visual code editor as well. Pretty much, which a visual code editor is not quite what I'm using. It's very much like drag, block thing, put that down, you get that. Like one of its first things it teaches you is how to make like the old Asteroids game. From an arcade Asteroids game. And it's not kidding when you say 15 minutes is a pretty accurate amount of time to make the baseline. Like, I can actually show this. This is a group. Is this one? With this one. Let's see. So this is a group project I made in with a bunch of other people in the space of about 6 weeks, and I was pretty much the sole programmer for it. And this was when I was a lot less confident. This was at the mid-ish point of last year. And it was like, I was working with 3 artists basically, and one of them did actually help out with some of the programming, but that was because I actually add a lot of things. But here you go. This is a game that me and a few other people made. It does have music, by the way. I've just got it turned off at the moment. Because it does actually have settings for that. How do you make the pixelated maps and stuff like people in that? What do you mean by like the pixelated maps? But you know, there's like full questing and everything like that. All sorts of stuff that goes on in this one. Pretty sure I actually drew that E, by the way. I drew that it was supposed to be a placeholder. But yeah. So. How would you make the people and maps and other stuff, and others, stuff looks? Would he, okay, that, again, like, I'm not quite sure I understand the questioning that you're asking. Like, are you asking, like, how would I make stuff look a specific way, or are you asking about a specific mechanic? Because I can try and answer your question. I'm just not sure I'm quite understanding. Like, do you mean like minimap, or do you mean like a world map that's separate? Because that's just draw it. If you're meaning something like a mini map or like a miniaturized map and stuff like that, there's a few answers I have for that. And in fact, I have another project I could show to example that. Like the models, like would you make the characters? Would you code it? I mean, like the assets I've drawn, and they're just files. So with this game, for example, if I just go into say player section here, go characters, character sprites, we open up this. Here you go. Here's the character. I import an image. Admittedly, these are sprite sheets, but that's pretty much, it's just multiple sprites. This could either be imported as multiple images, as each of the frames, or it's a sprite map via a different thing that's easier. So it's that easy. The game room, if we show this is using a thing called a tile map. So if we go to floor tiles here, you'll see that there's this thing on the right side here. I use these tiles in this, and I use this this auto tile system built into the game, but you can see like if I'm hovering through it, it will just automatically place the necessary stuff. And I can just like, there's a cliff there now. That's what that is. And that's there's a lot of tutorials around that sort of stuff. Very easy. But yeah, that's what this map is. I mean, mind you, there are things that are a little bit more on the complex side. That seems hard and easy. It's very much one of those, like, it looks a lot scarier than it actually is, but it's got, like, it's a really low floor, but a really high ceiling to what you can do with it. I mean, realistically speaking, I have seen people make 3D games in Game Maker. It's not an engine designed with that as its core concept, but is Game Maker a website or an app? It is an app. You can find Game Maker pretty quickly and easily. Let's see, Game Maker Studio 2 download. That's just my personal suggestion, Game Maker, but like Godot's also a really good one at the moment. Is it free? Yes. Almost all of them nowadays are free to use. In fact, a big misunderstanding is stuff like Unity and Unreal and all that, they're actually free to use. Is the moment you start trying to monetize your project is when they will kind of potentially knock on your door and go, hey, we want a bit of that money. I believe with like Unity and Unreal, it's after it makes a certain amount of money they actually care. Otherwise, they just don't care. Game Maker, I believe you need to pay for a license to be able to sell the game, but they recently added it so you can export the game as an EXE, like an actual normal executable, for free. That was actually something you used to not be able to do, but you could still make your game fully for free. Basically, the moment you want to do commercial, you'll probably have to pay stuff. If you don't want to be commercial or very high-end commercial, you're fine. No one cares. So it's really good for demoing, really good for testing. I wouldn't really focus on selling right now. Exactly. That's the thing I would suggest, is don't think about making money. Do it as a hobby. Do it as a little fun part-time thing. That's what I was doing initially with this game. That's why I started in February and it's still not done. February last year. Because I was doing it while studying my second degree that I'm currently on hold on. Because I needed to take a break. But no, I highly recommend, again, Game Maker or Godot. They're very lightweight and very easy. Also, I also know how to play piano. Ooh, I mean, you could do a lot of your music then. That's pretty good. You have no idea how useful that sort of skill is. Like, straight up. I'm not a stellar artist, but like, I used to be a lot better at art, but like, this is some of the stuff that I've done for the game. The music in the game at the moment is stuff that's been tossed together by a friend of mine in his spare time, and it's kind of shows that in the nicest way, neither of us are musicians, and there's a reason why. Like, it's mostly silent at the moment. I just use Heartbound's OST for background music for the stream. So this is not the music for the game. This is not music I own. I'm just allowed to use it. But yeah, no, music's a great thing. Yeah, no, like 100%. Some of the things that a lot of people get caught off guard by is how valuable sound and music is to a game. And then because of that, they underestimate the value of good quality. So the fact that you have some expertise and understanding in that field, you're going to have that as an advantage. I'm not amazing. Hey, you're doing fine. You're doing better than me. I've got my old digital keyboard, electronic keyboard over there that I've barely touched. And I haven't really played actual music since high school. And I barely did it during then. It was more like back when I was in primary school, when I did like guitar and stuff. Piano was always a passion, but I never actually did it properly. Still don't know how to read sheet music for the life of me. One day I'll change that. One day. Like, I'm very much a programmer. I've always been a math nerd. I've always been, I mean, I did a lot of programming when I was a lot younger, but not with game design intention, right? So, now coming back to it after years of not doing programming, like, that's the other thing I want to point out is, like, once I'd left high school, I kind of stopped programming completely. Then I did jobs, I did work, I did my first degree that I have, and throughout all of that, that was all, like, essays and hard labor, so... And then... As of, yeah, like, last year, I decided to start doing programming again, and there's an argument to be made. Like, I went from, sure, I was probably a bit faster than the most, but, like, I went from, like, complete novice energy to some stuff in this that is actually on the complex side, I would argue, in the space of 2 years. And that was mostly at hobby speed. So, do not think poorly of yourself. Especially knowing, like, I'm doing a far more complex game than you should be doing as a first time. Hardest ones I play are the Final Fantasy VII battle theme, but an easier version. That sounds correct, because if you see how hard it is... Yeah, no, that's fair, that's fair. I mean, that's impressive. Do not downplay your own ability and skill. I know I say that as I've done that myself multiple times, but... It is something that we all have as a bad habit. We're all way more critical about ourselves than we should be. Oh, yeah, it's very impressive though. It's a lot better than me. I think if I touch the piano, I can probably play like the first 5 seconds of the No Game No Life intro, opening music, and that's about the only thing I think I can play on the piano anymore. That was a long time ago as well. Okay, so I'm gonna need another value. So I'm going to need the count, and then I'm going to need max count. So this is gonna be like that. But yeah, no, like, I openly suggest if you're kind of interested in game development, like, yeah, no, seriously, look up tutorials about games that you're kind of interested in as well. Like, I mean, hell, if you're really interested in doing, like, original Final Fantasy style games, as an example, kind of like that JRPG, I would highly recommend RPG Maker. It may sound stupid. That one does have a bit of a cost barrier to entry. But, like, genuinely, there are games that are released on that do really well. And it is a very, very beginner-friendly sort of program. Know to play an easier version of Chainsaw Man Kickback. Oh, that's pretty cool. Moonlight Sonata, nice. Last Breath. That is all really impressive if you can actually play that. That's awesome, man. Like, yeah, no, that sounds like you're actually doing quite well. It's also good to find songs that you're interested and passionate about, to learn. I mean, that's why like the No Game No Life song's the one that I remember on piano. Because I forcefully tried to learn that one. Because I really like the song. And it's like, well, I'm gonna learn it then. I mean, fun fact, when I was... Actually... God, how long ago? I think that's... Yeah... Just thinking about it. So back when I was in primary school... So I was like... single digits age, right? When I was learning guitar, everyone else around me is like learning like very specific songs, because it's like the rules of what you're supposed to do and all that, but I was so far advanced and so far capable comparatively to my peers that the teacher, which is also our school principal because he's just a very passionate man, asked me if there was any songs I was interested in learning independently, regardless of their difficulty or complexity, because he was confident I could learn them. So there was one song at the time that I really, really enjoyed, which was Achy Breaky Heart. And I learned how to play that on guitar at like the age of fucking 9 or something. Took about a 4-week in total. In total, and also learned how to play a Terraria skirt. Oh, that sounds good. But yeah, no, so I was a little shit when I was younger for that. Don't touch my heart, my achy breaky heart. Yeah, so point is, really, really fun. So yeah, no, it's at 9. Yeah, I think it was about 9. It was a very silly age to learn that sort of song, though. I mean, it wasn't that old at the time, so... I guess nowadays people would say it's old, because it's like, what was that? That was 1992, right? I think? It came out? Fuck. Dude, I'm trying to think, like... shouldn't have been too... I could send through... Yeah, I believe YouTube's a bit weird about that. That's not on me, that's on YouTube. So, okay. I'm going to change how I handle this now. So, I'm going to get this value dot ex count plus plus. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, yeah. It's links, I believe, in YouTuber, unless you're a moderator, I think, does something about it. It's all sorts of stuff. Again, it's one of those, like, I understand the reasoning. And I don't think any of us can, like, disagree with the rationale. So I need to find everywhere that's going to use this. Because I'm going to be removing this in favor of count. You also know how to animate? Yeah, then you're perfectly fine and you're on a great track to actually being able to make your own game. I see no reason why you shouldn't start as at least a free like a spare time project. Sounds like you've got everything in the makings to make impressive stuff. Just don't be too hard on yourself that like your first game or two is probably going to not be great because you're learning. That's how it is. That's why those tutorials are so good, because they get you to make a game that potentially isn't what you want, and you can learn how it functions, learn how systems work, and potentially construct more complex things. I mean, if you want a little scare moment, I could show this for a quick second. So this is a function about how I do buffs in the game. And it's all these sorts of specialized checks. And this has actually got a lot of safety netting. So it's great. But it's also excessively complex and not great. I don't understand any of the coding, and that's fine. I mean, like I said, you can, where's a good example? Let's go to an object that doesn't actually have anything on it. Let's just make a new object quickly. Create object. If I go here and say add event, we'll add a create event, and then I'm going to convert to GML visual. So you say you're not very confident with the coding and stuff like that, so let's just go real serious thing with this. Okay, so I'm going to drag and drop this. This is a variable. Name my variable. We'll just name it temp. Make temp 1. Whoa. Is that really programming? It is. But does it feel like it? It's great. Say global, all that. You can find things really easily, and you can learn. And before you go, oh, it's scary. Dude, you can make a game with this easily. As well as, like I said, there is an extreme amount of tutorials out there nowadays. So while it is scary initially, it is not that scary long term. That's about the ferrets, okay. Also don't have a laptop or a computer. The only time I use one is with my family member's computer. Do you need a computer for coding, or do you can you use a laptop? You can use a laptop perfectly easily. What? No, it's super easy on a laptop. This is where I say it's like, okay, it will depend on what you want to make. If you go like, oh well, I want to make a game in Unity. Say, oh, okay, I don't know if I'd recommend a laptop in that case. But also, if you would want to make a game in Unity, I would not recommend it. Unless you're part of a team. Oh, I want to make a game in... Yeah, so, like, Unreal, terrible for that. Unity, you can probably do it, it'll be fine. Godot and Game Maker, absolutely. I see no problem with that. Like, again, give me a second, I will pull up Steam. Let's go, it's Forger, I believe is the... Is it not on here? Oh, that's Forger, sorry. There we go. This game here. This game was made in Game Maker. Let's have a little look at... so, again... I won't show too much. I won't play the audio for this, I think. Ooh. This is a really gorgeous game, by the way. I love this. It's so cool. This has got actually a lot of intense mechanics. It may not look it, but... You know what it is? Yeah, so that game was made in Game Maker. That was made in the same engine I'm making right now. And let's have a little look-see at... Oh, look, the processor required. That's actually pretty typical for a Game Maker game. Now, making the game, you'll probably need arguably a little bit more than this, but only a little bit more, because you'll be running into issues. That's it. Ah! But, like, how expensive are laptops depends on your area, right? Like, in the US, I'm sure you could probably get something for cheap. 200 bucks? I mean, if you're getting second hand, maybe? I don't know if I'd recommend that, but... I mean, like, that's that argument of, I mean, if you could probably do it off a Chromebook, but it wouldn't be what I'd recommend. I can't make monetary decisions for you, I'll say that. I can give you suggestions, but that's as far as it goes. Like, here in New Zealand, if I wanted to get a decent enough computer to do what I want off of it, it would probably be about $400 to $600, but that's New Zealand, so basically half that, and that's US dollars. If I wanted to be really happy, then I'd be looking at about $2,000. Only have 200. I mean, save up. It's, I'm sure I would personally say getting like a computer or a laptop of some kind is definitely a very valuable thing in the modern day and is worth putting in the extra effort. Because it gets you quite far and helps you out a lot with your day-to-day. We're in an era where that's become more and more prevalent. It's actually a more surprising thing. Been saving 3 months. That's no time. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. $200 in 3 months isn't... It's pretty good savings. I'm hearing no reason to beat yourself up about that. Yeah, 3 months is no time whatsoever. You're doing well. Okay, so I'm not going to be using that there. I'm going to use it somewhere else. Next year is in 3 months. True. We are in September. Which is definitely a weird feeling. The year has been weird. I wouldn't say it's gone fast nor slow, but it's definitely gone. Maybe it feels fast comparative to like the previous few years because of like being as isolated as we all have been. Feels like it's been 3 months in the year. Yeah. Like I said, I'm on the mixed feeling of that because like my first half of the year was all university work, so time flew by during that, where I was perma busy. I was too tired to give a shit about the time anymore, and I would just get shit done. And then like I'm taking a break at the moment since mid-year, and it has been a lot slower, but a lot nicer. So... Okay. I was learning piano, like, starts commonly known piano player stuff that helps for half a year. Oof. That's impressive. Let's see. So I need to look for X. It's greater than 1. And time source get state, isn't it? Get state T underscore T layer EX cooldown equals. What am I coding for the game now? So we have what's called an EX. Kind of think of it like an ultimate ability, right? How it works currently in the game is you activate, like, it has its cooldown. Once it hits the maximum, it just goes, right? Like, it activates and then goes off cooldown, depending on the timing that I set for it. What we're adding here is the the ability to make it so if I wanted to give it charges, for example. So some characters might want to have inherently that they can get 3 charges of their ultimate. This is the system that would allow for it. So it's building off of a system that's already existing, but it's in a way that I'm not sure how I really want to have having it go. How much more is going to be added to complete the game? That's a difficult question. I don't know what when answering completed game, I can't give you the answer to that because I don't know what the final product of this will ever be. However, for the next update, it is very little. I'm just doing a lot of cleanup, this sort of thing. I'm just enabling a few features here and there, making sure I'm setting up for modifiers so we can get the next update out. And then the next update after that is my intention is to have it release on Steam then. And to have that done, I'm going to have finished the multiplayer support, functionality to work with Steam, all that sort of stuff. But I mean like this update. Yeah, so it's realistically speaking, just some more asset cleanup, some more abilities and such cleaned up, which it's very much is one of those things of like, if I wanted to just burn out a weekend and have it done, it would be done. But I'm waiting on some stuff because so there's someone a friend of mine that works on the UI for this, and he's a little bit he's doing it extremely part-time in his free time sort of thing while he's doing his own stuff. So he doesn't work on it as aggressively as I do, and that's fine. But there is some things that I'm waiting on from him to sort out, and that's where the next update is at. It's pretty much there. Conceded on the 15 sub channel. Fair enough. I mean, there is a version of this game that's available at the moment, but that was the last December that was updated. So it is extremely outdated and bad. I was hoping to have this released by now, this update, I'll be honest. But it's taking its time. It's taking its time. Honestly, I could probably just move this here. And then yoink this out. And then have this. Do that? Would that be better? Hmm. Need to find a more effective job if I don't want to wait for 2025 for a laptop to code. I mean, again, like I said, if you've saved up 203 months, you're probably going to be able to get a laptop by the end of the year that you can work off of. Don't expect to get, like, Alienware or whatever the fuck the new good ones are. You don't need something amazing. That's why I say, like, secondhand, while I don't like secondhand for security reasons, that's me being over-precautious. So, I'm sure you can find something secondhand for pretty cheap, pretty easily. Like, again, it's that... I just want one that works. Yeah, then probably $300-400 US would be more than enough. I'm sure you could get something for like that. As long as it's not a Chromebook. Again, I personally can never stand or recommend Chromebooks. I think they're a fucking mistake. For most people. I don't know. I know a lot of people that's enough. A Chromebook is enough. But it's just horrendous. I cannot respect them. Their design and their concept are just horrendous to me. Just wondering how many games have I made? Technically speaking, since like I'm making this one and I've worked on another one that we did on stream as a little kind of experimental joke, where in the space of like 4 or so weeks, 4 streams basically, I showed could I make one of like a version of an ad game from like the mobile ad games and show how it's actually really easy to make them. The only reason I haven't worked further on that project is because I just keep forgetting, I'll be honest. But all I wanted to do was add like shitty ads to it and then I'd release it. But yeah, if you're asking for release games, none. I've never released a game. But I have a lot of experience in programming, specifically with software and hacking. Those are the fields that I worked on the most back when I was in high school. And that's why it's like slightly transferable knowledge. Like I made a lot of websites back then as well. That was something I did on commission as well. But yeah, no, honestly, like that's the reason why I stream this in a sense now. Is like I've been streaming this for a little over a year. This game's development, I've worked on it for longer, but because it kind of keeps me honest and it gives me a place where I can look back at what I've done. It was June last year that I started streaming this, the end of June. And at that point in time, the game had gone through a fair bit of iteration, but it was still garbage. And it had like only a handful of characters as well at the time, like 1 or 2. Give it half a second, and that should be all that we need. If I get a laptop, I could help you make music and other stuff. Mostly musical, probably. I mean, I openly state this, is I wouldn't recommend working for me. There's a reason why I do pretty much everything myself. Because I can't afford to pay people, and I can't really... Because this game's never going to make money. This literally cannot make money because it is a fan game, and the legal systems around this means monetization of it or it being part of a company or anything like that could never work. So that's why I've just kind of accepted that. I would prefer to wait till a point where I can actually afford to commission people, because I would just... Not being paid for something means you're less motivated towards it and you have a less of an attachment. Want to do it for fun? See, now that's great. That is a good kind of opinion to have, but my statement is go make your own games. It's much... Trust me, you'll get more out of that experience than you would working for me. But it is very much appreciated, the thought. I will say that. Like, I cannot stress enough, the thought is genuinely appreciated. I feel like I'm being a bit of an asshole. I do make games, still make some stuff. Tell you what, I won't say no, but I will also not ask. That is how I'll say it. That's what I've said about like the art with this, is like if someone came forward and gave me a bunch of art and we agreed upon a good way of it and I liked it, then sure. But that's one thing I'll also say is like, what if I say I don't like it? I hope that you don't take that negatively, because again, like I've got very much strict opinions about what I want from this game. And that's because it's my big learning playground. That is why I've got those strict opinions, right? Is I want it to come out exactly how I want it to come out, and I know what I want out of it. And if I want to get it done, then I will get it done myself. I've just been appreciative of my mate that has been willing to work on a couple of things, and admittedly, and I want also the stressed, the friend that I talk about is I've known him since high school, right? So we are good friends. They don't use, I would be, yeah, like I will say this, if I didn't like it, I would tell you why I didn't like it, and I would be very critical about it, and that's the whole thing. And I can still use it. That's actually a good point, yeah. But like that's that thing of I mean, fun fact, you want to know what my first degree was? It was in education. I've actually been trained up to be a teacher, so. But yeah, like there's a reason why I hang out with my mate when I do, is because like we've been doing programming for far too long and we've known each other for far too long. So that's why I just send him shit to do. And if he says no, then that's fine. He just doesn't say no, which is a problem. I feel like I should put this on a timer, just as a safety precaution. Yeah. Also, so fun fact, this here is a custom function I made because there is time sourcing in the game, in this thing. However, with pause array push, this pushes it to a location where I can actually pause it when I pause my game, because pausing the game is actually a very complex system. It's a very confusing one as well, telling the game to stop doing stuff in the most pleasant way possible, without like just destroying the game at the same time. I think in the player, somewhere here is where you get like an example of what it is. Yeah, here. So I have to put it down below a bunch of other stuff, but like it's just, if the game is paused, image speed is 0, and then exit, so it doesn't do anything below this code. Oh, sorry, below this code. Whereas all of this stuff is a lot of my like pausing abilities, and this is actually where the pause array is. Like that time source pausing. Which, by the way, what the fuck was that? What? I have no idea what that is. Okay, I think that's a leftover from that Steam thing. I just can't look at my web browsers. Okay. That's so weird. I apologize for the loudness of that. What the fuck? I think it was... yeah, I think Steam bugged out and has somehow affected my other stuff. I'm just gonna close Steam forcefully from here and see if that fixes it. It did. It's a strange bug. Good on you, Steam. Gotta love you. God, the amount of memes at the moment for the Minecraft movie. I love it. So, okay, what I need is I need to go here, and I need to improve this check. So it needs to be ready, and there also needs to be a player stats .ex count is greater than 0. So what this should do, to explain some of this, let's get up paint for a moment, because this is always a good way of showing exactly what I'm talking about. So, once the camera refocuses, there we go. What we've done is we've now started checking for the amount of charges. So right? And then we're also checking the max amount for certain details. So normally it's just going to be 1. What we're checking for is if that's the case, then it's just normal functionality. If not the case, then it's going to use a different functionality where it will reset the EX independent of the EX. Because normally the EX is doing the resetting itself. This way, it means that we have a better guarantee for it. So, trying to think the best. Because we are forcing it to be true, so that's fine. It also, because of the way we have it, the safety net as well is that if, for example, this resets, there's very little chance for certain things to break. I think there's a small catch window. Like it's a frame or two. Do I need to worry about that? Okay, so let me think on this issue that's going to exist. Sorry, gotta go. All good. Thank you for stopping by. Hope I could help out in any way I could. Hope you have a good time with game deving when you can. Trying to think. Time source create, push, reset, go through all of this, and then we'll do that. So my fear is that if we do this and the thing checks for it as well, No, I'm terribly explaining this. I will explain it better in a second once I understand what I'm looking at. With this issue. So, if I activate the EX and it's got multiple charges, this will trigger in half a second. Then this will also get triggered independent of this because it's triggered often by the EX itself. It will do the resetting. Typically at the end of its effect. So, honestly speaking, I feel like I just don't have this here. Or if I do, I have this part. Just this part. Yeah. Okay. So, explaining why I was concerned is that, so after half a second here, it would set it to be true. What if I pressed the button in that exact frame that is the case, and then about a frame later, the reset for, or like less than a frame later, maybe a little over a frame later, sorry, this triggers from the original thing, meaning that I could basically double press, potentially. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to double... No, I would be able to double press. So that's the problem. That's why I'm removing this part, the resetting EX here. I'm just making it so if it's time stopped, it will work. That's, I think, the correct way to do it. Moving forward. God damn. Alright. I think that's how I need to do it. Oh, I saw a meme. I want to see if I can find it quickly. Saw it on Twitter. It was very, very good. Very good. It's the Spider-Man meme. It's in my likes. Here we are. This was a funny meme. You can now play a full squad of all Spider-Man's girlfriends. Yep. Love it. All of Spider-Man's girlfriends. Okay, so realistically, this should not change anything about how the game actually functions, by the way. That's the benefit we have here. This also doesn't need to be done. I don't think, anyway. Hey, kitty. That reminds me, I was gonna go look something up. It's gonna make me sad again. Alright, let's go. Use that. One, three. Is that what I need? Yeah. God damn, that's fucking spinny. Alright. Sorry, I needed to reserve a ride for later. To get somewhere. And I really don't want to talk about that, but I probably should. So I talked about at the beginning of the stream, very briefly, that I was not in a fully great way. Yeah. It was nice to have a distraction chatting with someone about game dev, but goddamn. I am like on the permanent verge of tears at the moment. So, I want to talk on the tweet that I sent. So, in my family, we were always like sarcastic, fucking assholes with really poor humor. And we would not deal with our problems, we would laugh them away. Which meant that, like, now that I'm a lot older, one of the biggest trials I've had is kind of beating against that and, like, actually learning how to deal with emotions. Deal with, harshness and problems. Like, actually process them and develop from them and all that. Something I learned last year that I needed to start learning how to do, and that's what all of this year's been. So I needed to take a break from my study because I was just not able to do it while I was studying. And now I'm dealing with a situation that I do not agree with in the slightest. But I don't really have a choice anymore in the matter. You know when you're being pressured, bullied, and like manipulated into doing something, but the worst part is you know you are, but you can't stop the fact that it's still working? That's where I'm at the moment. And yeah. I'm not happy with a lot of that, and then on top of that, the situation itself is possibly one of the hardest of my life. So I'm just not okay. I think I've done pretty well to not cry on stream so far, though. Alright. But yeah, I don't want to talk about the situation itself now. I don't feel comfortable with it. Okay, we should probably test this. See if this actually works. Like if the EX still triggers. And if we can use it again afterwards still. Let's just play with Aura, because difference. So, normal charging. Didn't work, okay. Why? Oh, is it because I no longer set this to ready? Ah, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna set it to ready by automatic because now we have the charge thing to, or the count to track it. Okay, I'm not losing my gauge. Alright. Okay, that should fix that problem. Okay, looks like it's working. Cool. So, it sounds really funny, but all we've done is basically just get it to function the same way it did it before, but with the extra stuff in the background. So now I'm interested to see what happens if we go to initialization and I tell you your max count is 2 now. Interesting. So, why is that occurring? Okay, so I think I know what the problem is, but I don't know how I'm going to solve it. Well, I think I kind of get where it's coming from, which is this. To an extent. No. What if I move this to the back? Maybe that? Again, it's writing a lot of like catch cases at the moment. Okay, I think I'm seeing what needs to happen. Just trying to figure out how I approach it. I'm missing like a bracket on it, yeah. Let's try that out. I don't know if that solves all the casing, but should do a fair bit. So we need to charge up 2. So 1, 2. It's maxed out. Okay, that might have actually solved it. That's 2 used. 1. Okay, I think we solved it. Cool. Oh god, that is a wild system to have added in. Alright. We should probably get a calculation for this. Because we do that with like health, is like what the total of this is supposed to be. Should probably make things a lot easier, because we do call it in a lot of locations. It just makes things slightly faster, I guess. Hmm. Alright, I need to revert the base value, and the benefit we have as well, so I know this is very out of nowhere, but so the benefit we have as well is that when we write the assists, we can do the exact same code with them. There is going to have to be a way to show how many charges the player has. I'm probably just going to put forward, because I want the EX icons on the bars as it is, so I'm probably just going to have it that if the charge is greater than 1, to show how many charges there are. And it will be like at the bottom of the icon. I think that works out quite well. So yeah, we'll do the same with assists at some point. I'm not too fussed about it. But now we can make a thing for it. So what is the item? Or is item? How's it written? Wow, that's incredible that I forgot to do a plus equals. Go back. Right, so I just need to do a modifier that's basically the inverse of this. Fucking... Get rid of that. So just in here, grab this value. It's just gonna be easier than writing. Right. Ex count max plus equal to, and that ex reduction minus equal say 0.3, so they're like 30% higher. Should be how the value translates through. And this I'm gonna call it a mid impact for now. See how that goes. That should work. So it being 3, should we get enough? I don't think we can, no. I think it's 2 at the moment. So I'm just gonna put this at value 2 so it turns up. See how it works. Is that the right value? Okay, I need a calculator. So if we say, let's go with the positives for a moment on this value. So be 6 times 0.1 and then 6 minus 0.6. That's how much charge should be, kind of baseline. Okay, so, but what if we have it as 6 times minus 0.3 equals... That's not right. 6 times 0.3 negative equals minus 1.8. And then, oh god, no, I think I've got the maths wrong, haven't I? I think that's what's going on here. Because if we then take 6 minus 1.8 negative equals 7.8. That's not right. Right? No, that is correct. It should get, yeah, it should be getting larger. So it should be fine. Why did it not work though? Because in the UI, it didn't appear to get to the right value either. No, he's got it in his functions now, doesn't he? No, that's the correct. It should be the correct value. EX reduction. So why did this not work? Let's disable it for a moment. So it doesn't turn up. Yeah. So RNG is pretty consistent. So it means it should be... No, it's none of these. We're looking for one that just says TBD. There, that one. So that worked. So this part didn't. Why did that not work? Do I need to do plus equal minus? Is that gonna accept that? Guess it will, yeah. Oh, it's such a... I'm running in debug mode for some reason. I pressed F6 instead of thing. Okay. That's fine. There we go. DVD. But it locks out there. I must have somewhere else that's checking for overflow. But not correctly. Because this should be the only place that's checking for overflow. There it is. I knew, like, the moment I saw that that was how it was going, it knew it had to be an overflow somewhere else. Like an overflow catcher somewhere else. And it not working correctly. So now it shouldn't have that problem because the overflow is no longer running. Yeah. Cool. Nice and easy. Might need to do something about this at some point, we'll see. I'm not against having another overflow valve for it, but like the fact is that the script itself is an overflow valve because it's checking for that exact thing. And it will stop itself the moment that that's the case. I think that was back when we didn't check for that, and it was just a thing that got incremented up. I think that cutoff code was made ages ago. So that's good. Oh, my apologies. And we'd never have seen there being an issue unless we increased the value beyond the base thing. Because otherwise it would have been fine. That would explain that. Yeah. Let's go back to modifier and put that back up to fucking more than 2. I feel that this should be 4. I'm gonna leave it at 4 for now. Alright. Let's see if I can find a reference to call this. I mean, I could do that. Um, just call it old batteries. No. If I think that that's a bad name later, I'll change it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I need to do now with these. Again, there's so many different modifier ideas, but like all of them do kind of require a good bit of work. Right, there was the ones we came up with yesterday. So like the losing the starting weapon one, that's going to require some work because the upgrade system is still fucked because it currently has the pause stuff attributed to it, which it shouldn't. And it's been asked to have been changed ages ago. And just can't be asked doing the cleanup required for that. The crab brave one, I still like the idea of doing something like that. But that's going to require like a lot of assets to be done before that's even probably feasible. Because at the moment, basically the game is that. It is only slimes that spawn. Get an ally that has your assist's weapon equipped. That one... I don't want to probably touch that until the next update, because like I said, there's going to probably use a lot of the logic changing and cleanup that's going to be necessary for doing multiplayer, so I don't want to do it too much now. Health proportion of damage dealt by health regen is inverted. So I said before, what I would need to do for this is I would need to have a very specific value to do that. Because I would need a value that I can put somewhere to just full. It's going to be like times -1. It's basically what we do. So it would just, whenever you get healing, it would flip it on its head. Increase the area, but reduce damage. That one's super easy. We can probably smash that one out in a second. Pick up a heal at the ground, grants health regen. I'm gonna have to have like a check for that. How do I want to check for that? And then gain healing amp when below a certain amount of HP. Very simple for that, as it would be very similar to the logic that we've got for something like Perfectionist, which it's just checking HP value, blah blah blah. Doesn't help that I'm just kind of still not really feeling today, right? Feel like shit. I'm not gonna stop feeling that way. Why is Haruhi Shizumiya being like so more popular recently? I think there's a movie or something coming out for that soon, right? Is that why? Must be. Oh, pardon me. Oh, dude, it's fucking Keanu Reeves' 60th birthday. Or it's just passed. Good lord, that man is insane. Insanely good looking for a 6-year-old. Go ahead. Right. I guess there's more cleanup that we could do, but I'm just really not. I'm gonna openly say this. I'm just kind of not feeling like doing anything right now. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm just struggling with my own stuff. I think I should probably just call it. The problem is, right, I'm gonna say this openly, I think the reason I have not cried at the moment on stream is because like I've got the mentality of not doing that shit in public, and this is kind of in a sense public. And I think that's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing, because like the moment I turn off that camera, I don't think I'm gonna be able to hold back. There's nothing positive I can say at the moment. I really wish I could. I know what I would say to people that are going through this, and I know that for damn certain, I know that's what I want to hear right now. I mean, it doesn't even help, like, the people that are involved in this directly, or the way that they are involved, has made it extremely complex and difficult for my just general livelihood, especially moving forward. Because, yeah. The reason why I've reached out to the friend that I have to chat, because he's not involved, and it means that I can feel like I can talk openly. And even better, I cannot talk about the situation when I don't want to. Because it's really hard. It's not easy. Not easy at all. Like, I was even contemplating making a video to put on the channel about this, just so I didn't have to explain it anywhere, but I think that would be just an impossible video for me to make. In fact, right now, me talking about it the way I am, I'm just struggling. I think it's pretty much what that video would be. And there's a charm to not doing anything properly about it, because then this way I might never be able to find this video, and I might not have to see what I looked like and remember how I felt in that moment. I've said this to a lot of people in the past, and people have taken the statement many which ways. There's very few things I actually care about in this world. I don't even care much about myself. today I'm putting one of those things down. So I think I'm going to end here and spend the rest of my time with one of the few things I truly treasure in this world, until I have to take it away. I'm sorry, I gotta go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again.